All right. Today we are talking about something that I hear quite a bit, and that is network marketing products are overpriced. They're all overpriced. And the reason people usually say that is because they are making an assumption that there's a marketplace value for the product and that there's a plus plus added on top of it to pay the distribution chain to feed the network marketing engine. That's the assumption. And the fallacy with that assumption is in two regards. One is that assumes that there's no uniqueness to the product. That it's just, it's a fair market price everywhere, so therefore everything should be priced the same thing, which typically, if it's a commodity service, then you are seeing that happen, because like gasoline or electricity or phone service, there is sort of a baseline. But when it comes to skincare, nutrition, or wellness type of products, then a lot of times it's the network marketing companies that are leading in innovation. So the second thing that is wrong with that is that there's no consideration given at all that everything that you buy from every store that you buy it from, whether it's online at Amazon or at Target or at Harris Teeter or Kroger or whatever your grocery store is, every product you're buying, you are paying for the advertising and the distribution in and above the cost of making the product. And you don't complain about that. I mean, you might complain about that, but you know that it's in there. You know that it costs something to get to you. And that's considered acceptable. Like the example that Janine gives in the Flip Flop CEO book, which I love to make that point, is let's just take your favorite can of soda, for example. When the manufacturer makes it, it probably costs like 3 to 10 cents to make it. But I mean, nobody's paying 3 or 10 cents for a can of soda and thinks that that's what the normal price should be. We are used to that there's a certain advertising around it, like the brand names that you recognize. And let's go with the soda example: Coca-Cola, Pepsi-Cola, Dr. Pepper. They spend money in advertising. The generic brands that are at your store may not spend as much money in advertising or in quality of ingredients, and therefore they might save you a little bit of money. But you innately know, I'm paying for advertising and I'm paying for the quality of the ingredients in this product, and I'm okay with that. Because look at how many people are paid in that process of getting a can of soda to you. There's the manufacturer, the factory where it's made, there's the distributor, there's the wholesaler, there's the agent, the broker, the sales rep, the ad agency, the publicist, the spokesperson, the media outlet for the advertising, not to mention what could be real estate for the property of the building that you're buying it in, electricity, and employees. All of that, when you buy something, that that cost is baked into whatever you're buying, and you're helping pay with the price that you pay for it. You're paying for all of those things, yet you don't look down on that and you don't think that that's bad. But when it comes to MLM or network marketing, for some reason we are just quick to jump to and to resent that. Oh, well, I don't want to buy the product because there's just a bunch of people getting paid, and the product must be overpriced because they've got all those people to pay. All those people to pay? Are you kidding me? Did you hear me just read off the list of how many people it takes for you to get a can of soda? So let's talk a little bit more about that, Janine.
Well, and I think it's so interesting that we think it's perfectly fine to pay more to have Catherine Zeta-Jones or Drew Barrymore or Julia Roberts be a spokesperson for something, for products that they don't even use. And they get paid millions of dollars, but we think it's wrong to pay a rep, to pay us, people that actually use the products, to talk about our experience with them. So I think that's just like a paradigm shift for a lot of people. I think too, my experience has been with a lot of network marketing companies, they are using different ingredients, and their formulations are more innovative. A lot of times they're using premium ingredients, because if you're going to get really dramatically different results, a lot of times that's because the ingredients that you're putting into a product instead of cheap fillers costs more. And so it makes the products cost more. I think even the whole subject of cost and what's too expensive and what's not is kind of an interesting subject, because there are people on the planet that value things that are really well made and value premium products, and there are people that don't. And not one is right or wrong. But I kind of was playing around with this a little bit because I was thinking about the cost of things. You know, a lot of people buy their products. Well, when people will say that something is too expensive, if you were talking about skincare products, you know, some people buy their products at the dollar store and other people buy their products at the department store. And there's a huge difference in price. But even for things like automobiles, I mean, people can pay from $300,000 for a brand new automobile to $14,000. So there's a huge variance between the price of cars, and yet people, you know, we don't get all upset about that. I mean, you know, we don't really think about it. And I was looking at prices of women's handbags, because there's, you know, certain handbags that we look at that we know that person paid a premium for them. Some people are into that, some people are not. But when I really did a little bit of research, I found out that you can buy a wallet for $20,000 or you can buy a wallet for $10. So basically, you know, who's to say that prices are or products are overpriced? I mean, it really is a matter of what we value. And some people really value premium things and some people don't. And I think with network marketing products, a lot of times because they are made differently, people that maybe have really sensitive skin and couldn't buy their products from a dollar store because they would break out, or they have, you know, they are going to be willing to pay more because these products work for them. And we all have things like that that we feel that way about. Maybe we are willing to spend more to get our hair done at one place versus going to a supercut because we value that. People value different things. And I think what you said was really important. I think the perception is that that money is being added on to pay the reps, and that's not the case. The people are just not thinking about how many layers are built into the cost of delivering products. But you know, I had an interesting conversation with someone who, after really experiencing or having all of this explained, her perception was that network marketing products were inferior products, and it that, you know, those were the kind of things that, you know, were really not as quality. And that is so really opposite of the truth in my experience. They really are typically made differently, formulated differently than what you can typically buy off the shelf.
That's right. That's right. And you know, my husband and I have a lot of experience in inside of network marketing, multi-level marketing companies. He's on the product manufacturing side and has seen a lot of things. And I've been on the corporate side in sales and marketing. And for sure, there's a great degree of variance. And you will find that, you know, just the mere fact that a company is depending on a person's experience to propagate the continued reorders and the sharing of a product means that they want to have a high quality experience. And almost always, not necessarily always, but almost always, it's certainly a factor I look for in a reputable company. There's a money back guarantee offered with it, where the less expensive place and the less expensive product that you buy, like, you know, if you were to buy wellness products from a Target or from a Costco, you're not going to have as generous of a refund policy as you would with traditionally a network marketing company that stands behind the quality of their products. And I want to say, I have had it happen where someone looked at a product and looked at the ingredients on the label, and then they went to like a chemist or an herbalist and said, "What if you created this product?" And that person said, well, that would cost me this amount of money. Well, what was not taken into account is their large containers of variety of ingredients could be contaminated. I mean, there could be, they're not tested for lead or for mercury or for mold or for any of those kinds of things when you bulk order a raw material ingredient, unless you've paid extra for that testing to happen. They're not manufactured. They're not advertised. You just cannot, it's comparing apples to oranges. So I just want to go back to finding a brand that you trust and a company that you trust, and knowing that there's a uniqueness about that product formulation and what's being offered to you from that company versus what you could just find in general, and that it's not plus plus. It really is. Companies have advertising and distribution dollars allocated. Every single product you buy from everywhere has that baked into it. This is no different. It's no different. It's not, this is what that's going to be plus plus plus. It's just redirected. It's redirected to everyday people instead of it being for brick and mortar locations, for TV ads, and for spoke models like we talked about earlier.
Yeah, exactly.